All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into a story that had everyone a little on edge for a while.
Yeah, a real nail-biter.
I mean, asteroids always get attention, but this one, asteroid 2024 YR4, initially it was flagged as a potential threat to Earth impact predicted for 2032.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a close call. I mean,
Can you imagine?
yeah, the early calculations had it potentially hitting Earth on December 22nd, 2032. What a way to end the year, right?
Seriously, talk about a holiday surprise you don't want, but before anyone starts prepping their underground bunkers, there's good news. NASA's been hard at work crunching the numbers, and they've pretty much ruled out an Earth impact.
Definitely. The risk has dropped to basically zero. Almost impossible at this point. But here's where things get really interesting. There's still a small chance it could hit the moon.
Hold on, so Earth is safe, but the moon might be in trouble.
Yeah.
How did they figure all of this out? What went into those calculations?
Well, initially, when 2024 YR4 was first spotted, the data was limited. Based on those early observations, an Earth impact seemed like a real possibility.
So they saw this thing headed our way and thought, this could be bad.
Exactly. But that's where NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL, really stepped up. They collaborated with this global network of observatories, all feeding their findings into the Minor Planet Center.
Is that like some kind of central hub for tracking space objects?
It is. Think of it as a massive database of asteroids and comets.
That's pretty cool. So with all that extra data from the Minor Planet Center, JPL could really refine those calculations for 2024 YR4.
Precisely. And the results were remarkable. The risk of an Earth impact essentially vanished. It went from a concerning level to a minuscule 0.004% chance of impact. Basically, Earth is in the clear for at least the next century.
So they went from potential disaster to we're all good. That's a pretty dramatic shift.
It is. You know, NASA put out this animation that really shows how much the projected path changed. You can actually see the asteroid's path moving further and further away from Earth.
Yeah, I saw that. It's incredible, like a visual representation of science in action.
It really highlights the importance of continued observation and how our understanding of these objects evolves. But even though Earth is safe, there's still that slight chance of a moon impact, remember?
Right. You said 1.7% probability, so they're still keeping a close eye on this thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office has a whole network of observatories dedicated to tracking potential threats like 2024 YR4. They're not taking any chances, even if the risk is minimal.
That's good to hear. And didn't I hear something about the James Webb Space Telescope getting involved? Is that right?
You did. It's scheduled to observe the asteroid in March 2025.
Wow. That's our most powerful space telescope, isn't it? What are they hoping to find?
It's not primarily about planetary defense this time. The goal is to get more precise data on its size and composition. It's more about deepening our scientific understanding.
So even though this specific asteroid isn't a direct threat anymore, this whole situation is still a valuable learning experience for planetary defense as a whole.
Absolutely. It was like a real-world test of their strategies. Data and analysis, communication protocols, notification procedures. NASA and its partners around the world got to put their planetary defense plans into action.
Like a fire drill for asteroids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It helps them refine their processes, make sure they're ready for whatever comes next. And here's something I think is really cool. All this information, the latest data on near-Earth asteroids that could pose a potential hazard, it's all publicly available.
Really? Where can people find that?
On NASA's website, they have an automated page called Sentry that's constantly updated with the latest findings. It's a real testament to their commitment to transparency. Anyone can check it out and stay informed.
Wow, that's fantastic. So we've got Earth in the clear, a possible moon impact, and a whole lot of valuable data to analyze. What a story.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you never know what's lurking out there in the vastness of space.
Well, one thing's for sure, it's never boring. And we'll be right back after a short break with more on this incredible story of Asteroid 2024 YR4.
You know, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it, our ability to spot these potential threats and then really dig into the data like this.
It is. I mean, imagine if something like this had happened even a few decades ago. We wouldn't have been nearly as equipped to assess the risk, let alone think about how to respond.
It really makes you appreciate all the effort that's gone into space exploration and research over the years. It's not just about pushing boundaries and, satisfying our curiosity. It's about protecting our planet, too.
Absolutely. And this whole situation with 2024 YR4 really underscores the importance of planetary defense. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a vital field and one that demands global cooperation.
You're right. You can't expect one country to handle this all on their own, monitoring and responding to potential threats from space. It's a global effort for sure. Exactly. No single nation has all the resources or expertise. We need to come together, share knowledge, technology, capabilities. It's a reminder that we're all on this planet together, all facing these challenges together.
Yeah, it puts things in perspective, doesn't it? This little blue dot in the vastness of space, it's all we've got.
It is. And planetary defense isn't just about asteroids either. Think about it. There are all sorts of potential threats out there. Solar flares, space debris, the list goes on. It's about ensuring humanity's survival, our long-term well-being here on Earth.
Wow, that's a big responsibility. It means we have to be thinking long-term, investing in research and development, and fostering that spirit of collaboration you mentioned, going beyond national borders.
Precisely. You know, it's amazing how this one asteroid 2024 YR4 has sparked so much discussion.
It really has. It went from potential disaster to this incredible learning opportunity. It's got us talking about planetary defense, international cooperation, even some pretty deep philosophical questions.
You're absolutely right. This entire deep dive has been a testament to how one event, even if it ends up being a near miss, can bring to light so many complex and important issues.
And that's the beauty of science, isn't it? It's not just about understanding the universe around us. It's about guiding our actions and shaping our future. As we wrap up our deep dive into this asteroid, what are some of the key takeaways here? What's the big picture for you?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that planetary defense is a real thing, a real field of study, something we have to take seriously.
They're not just in the movies anymore, right? We have to actively prepare for these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have the knowledge, the technology to find and track these potential threats. And we're getting better at actually responding to them.
Which leads to some pretty big questions, right? It's a huge responsibility thinking about how we might intervene, potentially changing the course of nature.
It is. We have to think very carefully about the ethical implications. Any decisions we make have to be guided by science, by reason, and focused on the well-being of humanity.
It seems like this whole experience with 2024 YR4, even though it was a near miss, gave us a lot to think about. It was a real test for planetary defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It let us test our systems, see what worked, and improve our processes. And it wasn't just one country working on this. It sparked a global conversation.
Showing that we're all in this together.
Exactly. We're all on this planet together, facing these challenges together. And it's not just about asteroids. It's solar flares, space debris, any threat from space that could impact life on Earth.
So planetary defense, it's about our survival here on Earth. That's a pretty big deal.
It really is. And it requires us to be proactive, invest in research and development, and work together as a global community.
That global cooperation, it's something that really came through in this story.
It did. And it shows what we can achieve when we work together, combining our resources and knowledge to solve these big problems.
It's been a fascinating deep dive, hasn't it? We started with one asteroid and ended up discussing global cooperation, the future of humanity, so much more.
It just shows how connected everything is and how one event can lead to so many complex questions. But, you know, there's a sense of hope, too.
I think so. A sense that we can face these challenges, find solutions, and ensure a future for ourselves on this planet. And that's a powerful message.
I agree. It's a reminder that even with these threats, human ingenuity and collaboration can help us overcome them.
So to everyone listening, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep exploring. And remember, even though space is vast and sometimes scary, we're all in this together.
That's right. And with knowledge, collaboration, and a little bit of that human spirit, we can handle whatever comes our way.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into asteroids and planetary defense. Until next time, keep exploring.